On to the explosive final weekend of this Dauphiné. Stage 7 is part 1 of a big GC battle featuring 2 iconic climbs, the Col de la Madeleine and the Col de la Croix de Fer. The question is, will Jonas Vingegaard be going for glory or just controlling his rivals?
Do you want to win that stage as well? We know you're greedy.
No, I don't want to say I'm greedy. I just like to race, and depends on everything. Yeah, maybe we go for it, and maybe we don't. Depends on on everything.
The Dane looks unstoppable, but anything can happen in a bike race.
You always hope that you can go win the race, you know. Jonas is obviously one of the best in the world, so it's going to be a little tricky. But yeah, you have hope, and you'll find out on top of quite a fair how we stand.
Today's more like a traditional mountain stage, and tomorrow's, you know, kind of kamikaze your last day with, you know, people with nothing to lose. So for sure both days are going to be super hard, and like I keep saying, hopefully I just have good legs.
Over 4,000 metres of climbing on this Super Saturday with just under 150k to cover. It starts with the Col de la Madeleine, a whopping 25k at over 6%. After sweeping into the valley, the riders will tackle the 18.5 kilometres of the Col du Mollard at 5.8% before hiking to the finish line at the top of the Croix de Fer, 13.1k at 6.2%. It's a big day for Vingegaard, who is hoping to buck the recent trend of the race winner only taking yellow on the final weekend. In the past 10 editions, only Chris Froome and Geraint Thomas managed to keep hold of their lead in the last 2 days. Last year, Primož Roglič took yellow from Wout van Aert on the Saturday before winning on the Sunday. There was only one rider leading solo after the Madeleine, and that was Victor Campenaerts of Lotto Destiny. The Belgian, the last man standing from the early breakaway. Behind him were 3 chasers: Anthony Perez from Cofidis, Tobias Bayer of Alpecin-Deceuninck and Anton Charmig from UNO-X, but they were already trailing by 1 minute and 20 seconds. Pierre Latour had made several attempts to attack from the peloton, becoming the virtual king of the mountains at the summit of La Madeleine, but the Frenchman was caught by the peloton, along with Guglielmi, Villemot and Thompson, as they approached the Col du Mollard. Campenaerts leading the way into the final 40k, embarking on the Mollard as Perez was dropped from the chase group. Jumbo-Visma just policing things in the peloton, but they were in no major hurry to catch Campenaerts. The Ineos Grenadiers also up there after setting the tempo on La Madeleine. The peloton was soon cut down to a yellow jersey group, with the average speed since the start over 36 kilometres an hour. Slowly but surely, they closed the gap, first of all swallowing up Bayer and Charmig. Campenaerts making his solitary way up the Col du Mollard, 4k from the summit. His lead was down to 1 minute and 20, and it would just keep tumbling. The Belgian ruler nevertheless showing he's also got very solid climbing legs by making it to the summit 30 seconds clear of the bunch. And with 30 points today, he is our new king of the mountains. The descent wasn't really long enough for Campenaerts to open up a new gap in spite of him taking a few risks, and he was eventually caught on the lower slopes of the final climb. Jumbo-Visma in control as they hit the Croix de Fer with around 40 riders still in this front group. Vingegaard's teammates then upped the tempo in one of the steepest sections, Attila Valter going so hard here that he found himself all alone. Several riders going backwards. Vingegaard himself coming across with the rest of the favourites, but they wouldn't be on his wheel for very long.
Big attack from the yellow jersey, and Yates just looks round and he has no answer whatsoever.
Vingegaard soaring away to another victory, with everybody else scrambling to organise the chase. Adam Yates was looking like the best of the rest in solo second place. Ben O'Connor was a little bit further back in a chase group, trying to defend his place on the podium. With Vingegaard approaching the summit, Jai Hindley attacked from the O'Connor group, but he wouldn't quite manage to make it up to Yates. A fascinating battle for the final 2 podium spots in prospect, while Vingegaard could already start celebrating.
3 weeks today, this rider has an appointment with a Grand Départ. The dress rehearsal has gone perfectly. Stage 7, Jonas VINGEGAARD.
VINGEGAARD picking up his second win of the week, so tomorrow he'll be going for another hat-trick, like in Gran Camino and Basque Country earlier this year. The 26-year-old looking on stellar form ahead of his Tour de France title defence in July. Now he just has to finish the job at the Dauphiné on Sunday.
I felt good today, and I wanted to go for the stage as well, and the boys really worked hard for me all day today, and we had the plan to go for it, and I'm really happy to take the win and to pay it off in the end.
VINGEGAARD coming in 41 seconds clear of Yates to take his 10th victory of 2023. Hindley came in just ahead of O'Connor, with the impressive Max Paul leading in the rest at 1 minute and 10 seconds. VINGEGAARD goes into the final day with a sizable lead of 2 minutes 11, but there are only 25 seconds separating Yates, O'Connor and Hindley in the battle for second and third. No change in the points classification. After his two-stage victories, Christophe Laporte is set to win the green jersey ahead of Matteo Trentin. He has a comfortable lead of 20 points, with Julian Alaphilippe in third. We do have a new King of the Mountains though, a fine effort from Campenaerts, the day's most aggressive rider. He is now 9 points ahead of Latour, but VINGEGAARD is third, with lots more points on offer tomorrow. The white jersey also changes shoulders, going to Poole. The British rider just a solitary second ahead of Carlos Rodriguez, with Tobias Johannesson also in the mix. We round out with another big day in the Alps, 6 climbs and almost 4,000 metres of elevation gain, heading from Le Pont de Clé to La Bastille. VINGEGAARD will be looking to follow in the footsteps of his teammate Roglic and win his first Criterium de Dauphiné. So do join us again on Sunday to see if he can manage it, and thanks for watching.